finally over. Well, sort of. There's still stuff we have to do after this is over. We actually have to do the Tower of Volney, the Langdao Ruins, but we'll get to that soon enough. I'm going to take a little bit of time off so I can make sure that everyone is up to snuff with how, like, levels and stats and all that. Phew! I'm glad everything finally worked out. Well, you know, I do like this game a lot. I feel that the story could be... It's a good story, but, you know, I feel that it just doesn't get the same sort of feel that, like, Fire Emblem 7 gave with the between-chapter cutscenes type things. Like, going from place to place. How it would tell you what's going on. It was much more dull. But you know, despite that, Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones is still a really good game. Not the best in the series, it's still pretty good. Oh, are you... My name is Leon. That's me. The son of the Emperor. You're Prince Ephraim and Princess Erica from Renee, aren't you? I heard you were coming and I've been waiting here all day. I've always wanted... I don't have any friends my own age. So, Prince Ephraim, Princess Erica, what do you say? From now on, let's be friends. Oh, let's see how I did. Damn it, Norton! Not bad. 512. That's a good number. Seth, the Silver Knight. Seth returned to Renee with Ephraim and his fellow knights. His dedicated service made him the most trusted of the new King and Queen's guardsmen, as well as the most famous of knights in all of Renee. Franz the Faithful. He continued to serve Renee with the same devotion that he had during the War of the Stones. His generous nature and easy smile made him a favorite among the people. Silent Gilliam. Gilliam returned to his home of Freelia, where he continued to serve the crown as a faithful knight. His imposing countenance was said to strike fear in the hearts of even the most arrogant and brash of Freelia's new recruits. Mulder, wise counselor. After the War of the Stones, Mulder continued to serve the royal family of Freelia. His wisdom served to guide King Inns as it had served King Hayden before him. Vanessa, dutiful rider. She remained on active duty as an airborne knight in Freelia's army. Her beauty and determination became the standard to which her fellow knights aspired. Ross, his father's son. He returned to Ai, village of his youth, and helped rebuild it after the bandits' attack that brought it to ruin. Years later, he set out on his own to perfect his fighting skill and hone both body and spirit. Garcia, the warrior reborn. He returned to Ai to help with its reconstruction after the bandit attack. Afterward, he re-enlisted into the army, serving Rene as a troop leader. His strength, valor, and experience inspired many. Combe, good-natured thief. Nimi, the tearful archer. The childhood friends became lovers first, then husband and wife. Worried for Nimi's well-being, Combe gave up his adventurous ways. Nimi passed on her grandfather's skill in archery to her own son and daughter. Arthur, Saint of Light. Arthur moved to Rene to help rebuild the shattered country. He worked without rest to ease the pain and grief of those who suffered during the war. His self-sacrifice made him into a folk hero among the peasantry. Lute, prodigy. After the War of the Stones, Lute returned to Rene to continue her arcane studies. She spent far less time locked in her library, preferring now to explore the outside world. She grew into a great and well-traveled sage. Joshua, the Tempest King. Natasha, sacred healer. When Joshua returned to Johanna, he took Natasha as his bride and claimed the throne as its rightful heir. Natasha was the perfect companion, and together they carried the mighty desert nation to great glory. Ford, the Wild Knight. Upon Ford's return to Rene, his secret hobby of painting was discovered. He was commissioned as a court artist. His work grew popular, and his days became so busy that he often regretted his career change. Kyle, Ardent Knight. His service to the royal family of Rene continued without change. He became a battalion commander and gained much trust and responsibility for training new recruits. Tana, Winged Queen. Tana lived happily in the prosperous post-war freedom. She flew to Rene often to visit her dear friend, Eric. That's short. Inns, King and Stratagem. As time went on, he succeeded his father Hayden as King of Freeland. His resourcefulness and tactical prowess helped him build a court of loyal vassals that served to lead the country to greater prosperity. Graceful Cyrene. Cyrene continued as commander of Freelia's Pegasus Knights. Her grace and beauty in flight were the subject of many songs and paintings, and her popularity soared. Amelia, Rose of the War. Following the war, she returned to Grotto to assist in her country's reconstruction. She surrounded herself with new friends and used the strength she found in the battlefield to live her life in happiness. Dussel, Obsidian General. Following the war, Dussel returned to Grotto, where he was instrumental in its rebuilding. He spent his remaining years watching over Grotto and sharing his wisdom with other nations as an expert combat instructor. Null, Watcher of Darkness. Null returned to Grotto, where he dedicated himself to rebuilding it and fulfilling Leon's vision. When the country was restored to its former glory, he disappeared without a trace, never to be seen again. Cormac, the Loose Landsman. Cormac returned to Grotto to assist in the reconstruction of his country. Shortly after, he left to wander on his own. When he reappeared, he rejoined the army, not as a knight, but as a common soldier. That's a bit of a demotion, don't you think? Wyvern Lord says Soldier. Lark, Queen of Light. She succeeded her uncle as ruler of the Rosslyn theocracy several years after the war ended. She never lost her unique perspective on life. She spent much of her rule visiting the neighboring countries. That's a bit dangerous. Doza of the Steady Axe. As Laracle rose to become queen, he remained by her side, watching Laracle grow to become the queen she was destined to be. Was Doza's greatest joy in life. Renak, rich merchant. Laracle summoned Renak back to Rosslyn, and he was forced to return. He was never able to escape his service to the self-centered princess who became queen. Admittedly, he didn't try very hard. Garrick, the Desert Tiger. Garrick continued as a mercenary over the years. His reputation grew so great that he had more job offers than he could handle. One day, without warning, he left, never to return. That was weird. Tethys, beloved dancer. She danced from city to city, and the entire continent became her stage. Her fame grew and grew, and large crowds gathered wherever she performed. Iwan, enthusiastic student. Iwan continued his studies, modeling his life after the teachings of Selah. Eventually, his education branched off into different paths. His insatiable curiosity led him on a trip to explore the world. Marissa, the Crimson Flash. Marissa became a battalion leader for an elite mercenary force. Many men sought to challenge her to a duel, and none of them stood up to her blade. Selah, the Well of Wisdom. Selah returned to Caer Palin, where he remained a faithful servant of the Manakete. His days were not spent in isolation, though. Many of the friends he met during the War of the Stones came to visit his village. God, this text moves so slow. Myr, the Great Dragon. After bidding her farewells to Ephraim, she returned to Darkling Woods. She lived a long and full life, served by the people of Caer Palin, and comforted by the memories of her dear friends. Ephraim, Restoration King. Busy days awaited him upon his return to Renee. He oversaw the rebuilding, not only of his own country, but also of the entire continent of Macbel. His work was difficult, but his success made him a legend. Erica, Restoration Queen. Erica returned to Renee and began the reconstruction effort with her brother, Ephraim. Seeing peace return to the lives of her people filled her with happiness. Her smile became a symbol of her people's joy. Finally! Completely over. However, we can do this. Now, we can do the Lugdale Ruins and the Tower of Almond. But, as I said before, I'm going to take a little break to raise up my units a little bit more. So, I'll see you then. Alright? Alright.